I'm ready. I'm ready. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Serral. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is SOS. Let's go. Oh, let us go. Again, SOS, he, of course, recently came back to the game. I say recently, like a year ago at this point, maybe just over a year ago, has been kind of working his way back up. I will still say that SOS still has some room to grow and room to improve for sure, but he has been devoting a little bit more time to StarCraft as of late. Ever since joining Streamer Zone, SOS has been getting a lot of travel support to go to more tournaments, and as a result, he has been, again, devoting more time to competing and to improving. Now, he is up against the best Zerg player in the world, so it's going to be difficult for anyone to go against Serral. We'll see if SOS has something special up his sleeve. I did mention previously in the broadcast that SOS, he's not as chaotic and he's not as aggressive and he's not as cheesy as he used to be. He does have a big reputation from years gone by of being very unorthodox and being very tricky as an opponent, but in current and modern StarCraft, that is less the case, less so than previously. Despite that, we'll see if he does bring something different to the table. We'll see if he does try to catch Serral off guard. And it is possible to do so. Again, we did cast Hero not too long ago in the Rongi Cup, 3-0 Serral. He did take down Serral 3-0 not too long ago in January, and a lot of that was based off of these earlier charge timings, was based off of catching Serral with his pants down, so it is possible to do so. We'll see if SOS can pull a Hero. We shall see. Speaking of, okay, we do have a proxy pylon here towards the south side of the map. There are a couple of options. This could be a proxy Stargate. I'm not fond of proxy Stargate play in PvZ just because your Stargate and your Oracles are so crucial and so important getting into the mid-game. So if this is Stargate, I'm not too fond of it. Otherwise, we could see a Twilight Council instead. But yeah, there it is, Stargate. Okay. It's a big gamble. It's a big gamble, a big risk. So going for a proxy Stargate, on the one hand, it allows you to get your Oracle into the main base faster for economic damage. True. So you can catch the Zerg player with their pants down and deal critical damage in the main. The problem with this, as we mentioned, is that Oracles, they are not just designed to harass, they're designed to keep you safe. Right? They scout, they do damage, they defend the third base, they provide a lot of utility. And you get scattered. You get scattered early on. Not like this. And for this Stargate to be seen, for this Stargate to go down early, I mean, that is a massive blow for SOS getting into a longer game. Oh boy, that's unfortunate. Serral, he's going to be getting ready. So far, just keeping up with the Adept. SOS, he should get at least one Oracle out, maybe 2 Oracles before the Stargate gets depowered. We'll see. First Oracle does zoom in. Spore is halfway done. Hey, SOS, you might still find some damage here. That's going to be turned away. And the Spore, wow, is done in time. Queens, they rotate towards the natural. The Oracle does commit, getting 1, getting 2. Not even. Getting 1. 1 drone goes down. Second Oracle's on the way, so it does get up to double Oracle at least. And SOS most likely would have to stay here at the proxy to keep it alive to get a third Oracle. Ooh, no third. No third base. If the Oracle does defend, we see a Gateway Explosion. Twilight Council, this feels like Glaive Adepts. Feels like Glaives here. Serral rallies over. Getting on top of the pylon. Once again, wasting energy. And shows the upgrade of choice. Is it Glaives or Charge? Or Blink? And again, in my mind, it should be Glaives. He's got the money for it. He's got minerals and gas. He's banking up quite a lot, actually. There it is. Glaives has begun. This is late. So late Glaives here. It was delayed by a good amount of seconds. No SOS, we gotta lock in. And Serral gets a pylon. Oh. As soon as you get the pylon behind this, Serral, he is making a wave of lings. Scouts highlight the third bases. So far, these are vanilla adepts. Hey, the Stargate is still alive. But you can see the downside here. You can see that the oracles are stuck defending, and they've wasted all their energy defending the pylon as well, which eventually falls. Whereas otherwise, these oracles could have been harassing, dealing damage, trying to scout. Overlord does confirm the lack of forge. Mass adepts are revealed. Kimitsu to adepts, and we'll lose them. Both adepts do go down. The oracles, they do hit the third. Okay, 4 or 5 drone kills, not bad. Not bad damage here by SOS. Does find some damage. Oh, thank God. So I was concerned he was going to shade. I was concerned, bad. As SOS is going to be shut down, and Serral will defend. And cleans up all the adepts. Meanwhile, the third base back at home is looking much more exposed. Remember, because of Glaives, Blink is late. Blink is delayed, so these Stalkers are much more vulnerable. Here comes Serral's counterattack. And we'll see if we can catch out the Stalkers. Uh-oh. Attempted. Does spot the army. But there's another warp in. Again, we're playing with fire right now. SOS being active without Blink is risky. Meanwhile, Ling drop into the natural. Serral building up his own Ling Hydra. As things get into the middle line, Prob's going to be going down. The hatchery is low, but you got transfuse. Yeah, transfuses are available. Blink is still not yet done. As Lings, they slip into the main, finding more damage. 7 probes go down. Blink is almost done. Almost ready. But SOS is being outscaled. Against Mass Wing Stalker, Ling Hydra is ideal. Is ideal at that. No. As the oracles go down, and they're not going to be replaced, so no oracles left. That means that these Stalkers are exposed. There's less support. Going for Stalker aggression like this is usually coinciding with oracles, with stasis traps, with pulsar beams to deny any kind of links around. That's no longer the case. Another link drop into the natural. And Serral is breaking out. Breaking out. Just waiting for more Zerglings. Even without them, just started stepping forward. SOS didn't even use the Stargate he defended. Yeah, if he got a third Oracle, that would have been fine. But because he didn't, like, it was just a bit of a waste. In regards to the energy. Oh, as while he was distracted, Bailings, they get into the mineral line. That's a kill out of cancel. Kills the Nexus. Gets into the mineral line as well. SOS just being pulled apart. And Serral looking comfortable. He's about to max. He's on his way. Building up more Ling Hydra. Infestation bit for Hive Tech for potentially lurkers. As Lings, they collapse in. Again, you can see Stalkers, they just cannot fight this. They cannot fight head on. They cannot engage with Ling Hydra. Let's go, bye, let's go. Just nothing but Mass Stalker. Yes, once again, god damn it. Once again, Bayless get in. This time there weren't really many probes to kill, but 10 probes go down. Still no saturation. GG gets called, and Serral, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And as he takes the first game, a big shout out to Vindicta Miguelito, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Bienvenidos, as we are here covering HomeStory Cup Revolution Retake 28. We're covering the group stage. We're covering Group B, and we are mid-series here in Serral versus SOS. After the series, we'll be covering Ryung versus SOS as well. We'll get there. We will get there. But Serral does take a lead, and SOS does stumble out the gate here. Again, I wasn't really too fond of the initial build. A proxy Stargate in PvZ is just very, very risky, and again, it can often hurt you more than help you. We saw that in the last game, but it was also just really unfortunate that Serral scouted. Remember, Serral, he scouted the proxy almost immediately. So just a very rough start there for SOS, but here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg for Basilisk. It is Serral. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Streamer Zone. It is SOS. Here we go. Whew. As we are going to be opening up. And we'll see what kind of build SOS goes for this time. Again, it was at least fun to see that he did mix things up a little bit by going for the proxy. He will not be going proxy Stargate again. No shot. But we could see early Twilight Council into Clave Adepts. We could see an early charge build. We could see committed Blink. But we are loading into a larger map is the issue. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps in the map pool, longer resistance by ground, more defendable 3 and 4 bases as well, and we often do see longer games on Winter Madness. We could try to take advantage of that, and we could see SOS try to rush into a Fleet Beacon, into a Tempest Rush, for example. Like, that has been seen, and that can be effective. We'll see. Up to SOS. There we go. And we do have our take of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener, this time back at home. So standard opener so far out of SOS, going for the Stargate. Very interesting placement when it comes to the pylon. Usually you don't really throw down the pylon this far back unless you plan on doing something more sinister with this. Stargate is standard, but we could go for a Void Ray opener instead. The rationale behind... Oh, never mind. The Overlord is going to be denied. I was going to say the rationale typically with hiding your Stargate like this is to lure the Overlord further into your bases to secure the kill. But the Overlord scout is going to be denied anyway, as SOS did open Stalker. The other option here is that SOS, he might bank his Oracles. He might bank them. So here comes our first Oracle. We don't have a rally yet. My assumption here is that he's going to keep his Oracle at home and then get a second Oracle as well. Now, the purpose of this, and the reason why this Stalker is really crucial, is that typically when you open up Stalker like this, it's because you're going for a Twilight Council. There's less of a chance... No! Okay. Deny the scout. There's less of a chance that you're going for a Stargate. Otherwise, why make the Stalker? So we'll see if he does... Nah, he doesn't bank. Never mind. Well, he goes Void Ray after the Oracle? Okay. You have my attention, buddy. You have my attention. Curious. Curious. You already killed the Overlord. What? Okay. Okay. Show us what you got. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let him cook, baby. Let him cook. The Oracle does threaten a dive. Void Ray will be hunting down Overlords. That is a fast Twilight Council. True. That is fast. My mind is thinking Glaive Adepts. I'm thinking Glaives here. The Void Ray has less DPS output, so fun fact, an Oracle would be better to defend here. Lings get us around, and SOS might just cancel. Yeah, there's nothing to defend. A second Oracle would hold against this, but there is no second Oracle. There's a cancellation. A rough start here for SOS. Yeah, he's racing back home with his first Oracle. The Void Ray does potentially get a Queen. Sorry, does get an Overlord. No, the chance to use. Gets another Overlord. Supply block Serral. Show us Glaives. There it is. And SOS is committed. Again, SOS, he's still stuck on on 2 bases. SOS committing into Glaives. And we'll see if he can pull this off. Unfortunately, Serral's playing safe. Roachhorn. Roachhorn is on the way, so Serral, he is playing safe. He has access to Roaches. Serral, I'm sure, is also aware that, hey, you know, your third base is heavily delayed. The Void Ray is kind of weird. Like, something is going on. We'll see. As you can see here, SOS, he's banking up those Adepts. He's keeping them hidden. If Serral drones up too hard, and if Serral doesn't make any Roaches, then hey, these Adepts, they can pop off. They have potential. He fakes a second Void. Okay. Okay. Fakes the second Void Ray. I appreciate it. I don't think I've seen this before. He's trying to make it look like he's committing to a higher Void Ray count. We have a Spire on the way. Ooh, Serral's being greedy. Spending his gas on the Spire. No Roaches. Serral, he does manage to wall up though. And if they make their way in, he tries to commit. Oh, he gets locked down. He barely gets locked down here. Serral does fully wall off. Queens to engage. Oh, one Queen goes down. Yeah, one Queen falls. SOS does shade into the third base. Serral quick to pull away. Quick to evacuate. Roach production has begun. Now, this Spire can end the game. These Adepts, because they've dealt 0 damage, they have killed nothing. They've traded against Lings. They've killed one Queen. The Spire not being scouted does mean that SOS is very vulnerable. Why is that? No Blink. Remember, Blink is late because of Glaives. So the anti-air here is lacking. There are Stalkers, but they're going to be less mobile. There's potential for Mutas to pop off. There's potential. But now though, Adepts to make their way in. Getting a Queen. Does get a Queen. Void Ray does fall. And here it is. 6 Mutas are being made. 6 Mutas, that is enough to one-shot probes. Is enough. It's another Queen. And it looks like it's not going to be mass Muta. It's only going to be 6 Mutas just to harass, just to poke in and deal some critical damage while switching into mass Roaches. And again, SOS did not get into the natural, so he hasn't seen. He has not scouted. He does have a good amount of Stalkers that he's been building up to defend against the Roaches. Blink is almost done. So SOS, he will have a standing army. But the Mutas are coming. Oh, they get scouted. Okay. Nice movement here by SOS. No, he's making use of hallucinations in a really interesting way. I appreciate it. I don't think it's going to really help too much, but I noticed. And I appreciate. Stalkers, they recall back home. They have Blink, and so far they're keeping up with the Mutas. Getting 1, getting 2 Muta kills, and so far the Mutas, they have not been worth it. Down to 3 Mutas. And they kill 3 probes. 4. Oof. Yeah, 4 probes go down, and every Muta does fall. Meanwhile, Serral, he's pushing. He's pushing out with his Ling Ravager. Again, it was only a harassing force. I will say this is a better follow-up from SOS as he completely shuts down the mutas. Nice defense. Oh, God. But it may not matter. The 4th base is cancelled. And Serral is looking to build up. Looking to build up here with Ling Roach Ravager. Serral is still in a better position. Hive is now on the way. Interesting. Getting his Hive. Nice catch with the force field. As SOS is posturing. I don't really see SOS pushing deep on creep, but he can maybe deny the space. Okay. He can look to deny the expansion. Whilst they do graze the army. Oh, God. Yeah, the choke when here working against SOS. And Serral's about to max out. He's about to max out. Yo, we got the solo run by. Let's go. Oof, as these are expensive losses here. That's what 4 or 5 stalkers being bled out. Oh no, the friendly fire. Oh, never mind. There, listens away, and Serral actually interesting going into ultras. Okay, ultras, that's the tech of choice. Slow lots, they arrive. There are banelings ready and waiting. Not ready. And to be honest, Serral, he doesn't have to wait. He doesn't have to wait for ultras. The biggest hurdle here for SOS is just like last game, he has no splash damage. There's no Storm, there's no Colossus, no Disruptors, no splash damage. He's got a couple of Archons and they will help. But it's less than ideal against a Mass Link Bane composition. Serral does collapse in, catches the Archon. So keeping up with the Zealots. They're stuck on Moon Command. And SOS Blink is on cooldown. Yeah, he blinked forward. He blinked into creep. And SOS he plummets in supply. So he's just getting all the tech, kind of splating. Greater Spires on the way as well. Why not? Getting all the tech. So he's ready for the Zealot run by. And here come the ultras back. The ultras are coming. Finally, we see Storm. Storm is on the way. We have the Fleet Beacon on the way. Like SOS, he is teching up, but it does feel too little too late. Serral is already knocking down that front door. And Banelings, they break through the side defense. Lings, they're pushing into the mineral line. There's only 2 Archons here standing in his way. And Serral looks like he has broken the 4th. Yeah, it breaks on through. Down to 2 Archons, down to 1. Da-da. 1 Archon left, Lings get into the mineral line, every probe goes down, GG gets called, and Serral, he will take the series 2-0, taking down SOS. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Serral does claim the series. Again, SOS, he had some interesting builds and interesting ideas. I did appreciate his use of hallucinations, for example. Like here in this last game, we saw like a hallucinated Void Ray to make it look like he was making more Void Rays. We saw hallucinated War Prism as well, just to make it look like he was looking to harass and counterattack. There's some nice like cheeky moves. But when it came to the grander scheme of things, unfortunately, the build did fall on its face. Remember, he went Oracle into Void Ray. Because he made a Void Ray and not a second Oracle, he was forced to cancel his third. Remember, he could not defend his third base. There was just too many Lings. The Void Ray was out of position. Oracles are faster, they're more mobile, and they provide more DPS output as well when it comes to defending with Lings or defending against Lings. So just a really shaky start into Glaive Adepts, but Serral, he was already playing safe, already getting a Roach Warren, and he did wall off in time. So he shut down the Adepts. The Adepts, they killed a Queen, and I think that's it. Like a Queen and Lings. Like they traded with the army, no economic damage. I will say that SOS did defend well against the Mutas. He shut them down hard, but he was behind in other aspects with the later third base, with the later tech, with the smaller army, with the worse economy. So despite that, Serral was still looking very comfortable. Still looking comfortable. GG. GG, well played. With that, that leads into the final series of the broadcast. We're going back to the TVPs. It is going to be some Korean on Korean action. Ryung versus SOS. Let's go. As we load into 10,000